What is up, guys? My name is Paul Kella, and I just wanted to share a little start to my life and a little start to how I became the person I am today. So basically, for first, growing up, I didn't know what poor was or low income was or what the struggle was, because to me, I was used to the normality that my family was going through. And eventually, I understood that there were kids that had things that I don't have, and that's when it became very odd to me. And for a good example, I didn't know that there's such thing as a name brand foods, name brand cereals, name brand clothes until I started to see kids have things that I didn't have. I was used to the normality of my family having to scrounge for extra change, having to scrounge up for food that we didn't have, and just eating the same meals. And with that, just barely getting by. And honestly, one day in 7th grade, I went over to my friend's house. His family had a big house. His mom and dad were cooking. They had a lot of snacks in their pantry, and they had a pool. And that's what made me realize, like, wow, like, it is not normal. And especially being a child, seeing that after living the normality of your life, being broke, and just in a low income family, you start to get jealous. And I'm not gonna lie, that's what made me chase more for myself, and that's what made me pretty much chase the things that these other kids had and chase the actual trend set of everything else. And to be honest, I was chasing the life that my family could not afford. So anyway, a few years later, and I remember this day like yesterday, I decided to drop out of school, and the only thing to my name that I had was $200 and a truck, which was a 1990 Nissan Hardbody. The same day I got kicked out. My grandparents didn't want me in the house if I was gonna skip school and just drop out, and I was fine with that. And the same day my truck broke down, and with the $200 that I had to my name, I used it on fixing the truck. And I was in such a bad situation in life. I was going through depression, and that's when I was first introduced to what depression was. I felt like my life was over, and I felt like a complete loser, a bum, and I just felt like I just wasn't on the path to success, and I was like far from it, and I would never have a come up. My family was pretty much disappointed in me. My friends, of course, didn't want to be friends with a bum that had nothing going for himself, so I can't blame them either. Especially going through all this shit at such a young age, I did not know how to actually cope with any of this. This video is proof that no matter what you're going through in life, there are things to escape it and there's ways to get out of it. And I'm gonna be honest, my life got better once I stopped blaming everyone else for my actions and I dealt with the consequences. And I honestly stopped choosing fake emotions, and I just started to just choose peace. Life taught me at such a young age that there's always somebody going through worse shit, and there's always someone in a worse predicament and in a worse situation. And to be honest, the biggest thing that I've learned was someone's worst day is somebody else's dream to have. And every failure, I stopped letting it become a contradiction to the end of my story, quote unquote, and I started to turn that shit into lessons. I understood that the kid that grew up with nothing has nothing to lose. And I didn't expect any of this shit to happen overnight, not in a year, not in a month, not in a week. And there is no timestamp on success. My mindset changed, my discipline changed, and that's when my actual life changed. So just always remember this: your past doesn't define you, your presence doesn't define you. What defines you is what you do next.